Parents of elite soccer players, we have all seen it. The most skilled players on the field freeze when it matters the most. The top scorer in training disappears during big tournaments. The players with beautiful technique can't deliver when the game is on the line. And the question is, why does this happen? Why does pressure destroy so many talented young athletes that in practice they do scissors, step over, and in games they do nothing? Today we're going to break it down using science, real-world story, and lesson your child can apply starting from today. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Valentino Di Lorenzo. I run a mental performance coaching program for soccer players, and in this video, we'll dive into all of the strategies, all the examples. So the science of choking from professional and youth players, the paradox is simple. The more talented a player is, the more they care about succeeding and the more they try to be perfect. Because pressure is not a skill problem, it's a mindset problem. You've seen this. Players who dominate in practice destroy small game-sized games, score freely when no one is watching. But in tournaments, they overthink every play, they play safe, they hide from the plays. That's pressure, and it makes them hesitate. For example, the England player Gareth Southgate, England reached the semi-final in 1996. Southgate, an outstanding defender, step up for his penalty, he misses, and England were eliminated. Years later, Southgate admitted, "I changed my mind last second. I started thinking too much. My technique broke down. Instead of just trusting the first decision and going for it, he started to overthink." So that's when trained skills become over control under pressure. Another example, Kylian Mbappe. In Euro 2020, Mbappe, one of the world's most talented players, missed the decisive penalty in the round of 16 against Switzerland. The technique that he has is perfect, the talent undeniable, but under pressure, the brain interferes. Simone Biles, possibly the greatest gymnast ever, she fell under pressure because physically she said, "I cannot feel where I am in the air anymore," so she froze like that. Or a real case of a player, Sava, for example, that he dominated in trainings. He had an amazing technique. Every coach said he was one of the most skilled players that they've seen, or even Eric, even Chris. In tournaments, he passed backwards. He avoided 1v1. He stayed invisible. Not because of lack of skill, because of lack of mental skills, because performance anxiety took over. So let's break it down and what's happening neurologically. Under normal conditions, we're using something called the prefrontal cortex, which allows for calm decision making. The motor cortex execute trained automatic movements, but under pressure, what happened? We use a different part of the brain called the amygdala, fear center. So the fear center activates, the body triggers a fight or flight freeze response, and the prefrontal cortex gets overwhelmed. Working memory shrink, the motor system becomes over-controlled. And even a study from the University in Chicago says that high-skilled golfers perform worse when they were told to consciously focus on their swing mechanics. Over-attention to mechanics destroy automatic performance. This is called paralysis by analysis. So when pressure spikes, players think about things that they normally feel. They consciously try to control movements that should be automatic. And that's when the performance collapses. So we're gonna see the 5 hidden causes of choking under pressure. First one is fear of judgment. What if I let my team down? What will coach think if I miss this penalty? What if my parents are disappointed in me about this performance? And then second, identity threat. They tie their entire self-worth to one performance. Number 3, avoidance of failure. So they try, instead of playing free, they try to avoid making mistakes, which will cause to make more mistakes. Lack of pressure or exposure, so they never train under pressure. And then they don't know how to mentally reset after mistakes, like the pros. So one error, one mistake becomes 2, becomes 3, and then the player collapses. So what elites do differently? Let's flip the script. Why do some players thrive under pressure? For example, Cristiano Ronaldo has trained his nervous system through thousands of simulated high-pressure moments. Before penalties, he slows his breathing. He visualizes the shot before stepping up. His routines makes the moment feel familiar, not threatening. Or the tennis player Novak Djokovic controlled his heart rate with deliberate breath control during big points. By keeping his nervous system stable, his technique stays intact. So visualizing clutch shots, rehearsing failures, recovery, simulated pressure in training environments is what your child needs to do to play better under pressure. So here's what your child needs to build true confidence under pressure. First one is, we said it, pressure simulation training. So add time limits, consequence drills, and small audience to train. Number 2, control your breathing. You need to breathe in for 4 seconds and then you hold your breath for a few seconds and then breathe out slowly to calm down the nervous system. Visualization, I talk about this in multiple videos. Mentally rehearsing the successful plays will help you with the confidence. And then have a positive self-talk after mistakes, recovering quickly, say something positive after those mistakes. And your child needs to expose themselves to fear, exposed to taking risks more so they can fail and then move on and they can do it over and over. Train that muscle memory to move on quickly from those mistakes. So confidence will grow naturally as my child gets older. That's what most parents say, but it's not true. Pressure doesn't go away with age. It gets bigger, especially if the competition arises. Without mental training, the most talented kids will continue to freeze. The gap between training performance and games performance grows, but with mental training, they stop fearing mistakes. Pressure feels like a normal thing, and they finally play free. Confidence isn't just luck. It's built one mental rep at a time. Just like technical reps, mental reps are also key. So if you like this type of video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Comments any question that you have. If you want to transform your child, we transform players in 1 to 4 weeks typically with our mentoring program. I have a link here in the description if you want to join that. Or I also have a link to my mini course, which is a very cheap option to get started. So I'll see you in the next video.